These are my midwife top tips for what to pack in your baby's bag when you go and give birth. So first of all, of course, you'll need some nappies. Usually size 1s are perfect for most newborns, but you'll hopefully know the size of your baby before they're born. Then you're going to need to change their bottoms, so you need some usually fragrance-free baby wipes that are water-based, or some people like using cotton wool and water. You need a changing mat so that if there are any spillages, they're not going on your hospital bed. And of course, babies' feet are a little bit cold when they're first born, so a pair of socks might come in handy to have at the bottom of their bag. When they are first born, they're going to need a hat on straight away. Babies get super cold and the hat can then keep all of their heat in when they're first born. Sometimes their head is covered, sometimes in a little bit of your blood from birth. That's so normal, so a spare change would be helpful too. Babies usually have a little bit of vomiting, or to mop up some spillages like milk, muslin squares are fantastic. And then they obviously need something to wear. So sleep suits, baby grows and vests are great. Usually I'd recommend taking about 5 of each. That'll see you through for a couple of days if you need to stay in. And then they're blankets. Usually babies are safer to sleep in something breathable. Cellular blankets like these are the ones that I would recommend usually. In your bag, you're going to need a really lovely, comfy dressing gown. This is so you can wear your PJs with this over the top and then you're not exposed, because remember, there will be other people on your hospital ward. The other thing that you'd need is a big, comfy towel. In hospitals, the towels that they give you are tiny, made for babies, so that'll save you there. You might also want to have disposable knickers. After birth, there's a huge blood loss to be expected, and so it's much easier if you can just wear them and chuck them away. On the topic of blood loss, after birth, heavy, thick pads that are needed. When you do have a baby, for the first couple of days, you do need to be wearing quite thick pads. Some people will leak their breast milk straight away, so a breast pad might be a good idea for your comfort too. A comb for your hair, but also my top tip would be squeezing a comb in labour when you get those contractions or those surges. And everybody needs a bobble, because who wants your hair in your face when you're having contractions? Lip balm and nipple balm. Nipple balm sometimes is comforting if you're trying to breastfeed, and usually in labour, especially after the gas and air, you get really sore lips. On the topic of breastfeeding, some people like to have nipple shields, so they might be handy to have at the bottom of your hospital bag too. After birth, you're going to want some really comfy pyjamas, especially after a C-section. You don't want anything rubbing on where your C-section scar will be. And of course, some really comfy slippers for when you're walking around the hospital wards. And last but not least, snacks. After birth, you're going to be starving, and your birthing partner might be too. So lots of snacks at the bottom of your bag is great if the hospital food is not for you. If you're going to be a birthing partner soon, here are my midwife top tips of the things you'll need in your bag. Of course, you'll need a change of clothes. Sometimes people have a C-section, and after the birth, you're going to be changed into scrubs like mine. So changing back into some fresh, comfy clothes will be much better for you. Also, birth encourages a lot of bodily fluids, so sometimes babies' waters, for example, might have gone on your clothes. Another thing that you'll thank me for later is a charger. No one wants to be running out of battery when their baby's born, because you'll want to take so many gorgeous photos and videos. And lastly, snacks. Of course, the birthing person is going to be doing all of the hard work, but you too will be really hungry.